When Fromsoftware make a mech game, it's always a good day. So when you find out that they once worked on a Gundam game, that makes it even better. Now you might be wondering, does this play like Armored Core? The answer is no. Gundam Unicorn is a space only mecha game. What it does play like is Fromsoftware's other mech series, Another Century Episode, which has 5 games. It's a series I've talked about in the past. Most people consider 2 and 3 the best in the series, and thankfully I can say this game plays more like those two, which is a very good thing. They did make a few changes though. Unlike the Ace games, your ammo and fuel does not regenerate in this game. When you're running low, you'll have to grab these supply units that are scattered across the map somewhere, or fall back to your mothership mid-battle. Sometimes trying to get these supply units can be frustrating, along with the lock-on system in general, as it will lock on to whatever is the closest target, which sometimes you don't want. Overall though, the flow of battle is great and intense. You have a lot of options, being able to move up and down and boost around. It took me a few plays, but you will be dodging and moving around like a true ace pilot in time. You also feel the weight of the mobile suits in this game, along with the attacks that actually take time to come out, meaning you can't just swing aimlessly or shoot off a big power beam without leaving yourself open for attack. You have to time everything as you would in most Fromsoftware games. There's nice little features in the gameplay where you can hide behind asteroids for cover. Be warned though, some weapons like the Unicorn's beam gun can blast right through asteroids, so you won't be safe. If the right mobile suits are out, you can also call to each other and then start wave riding. Also, like I said earlier, each mobile suit really feels different, with its own abilities that you can make great use of depending on your playstyle. This game has 2 modes, Unicorn mode and Custom Cast mode. Unicorn mode is basically story mode, which will see you play as 4 different characters and various suits. This game only covers the first 3 episodes of the original OVA anime, so you won't be seeing any Banshee in here sadly. It takes stills from the anime to tell the story in game. If you want to know what is going on, I suggest you go watch the anime first. It's a bit jarring as you flip between playing different suits and story perspective in Unicorn mode. Missions won't open up until you do someone else's mission. I would have preferred one complete playthrough as one suit and then move on to the next when I'm done. It would have helped to learn the controls better, as each suit really feels and plays differently. Going up against Full Frontal felt hopeless, and I mean that in a good way. Without going into too much detail about the anime, Full Frontal should be making light work of a bunch of grunt suits, and that's what it feels like in the mission. You basically have to become his punching bag to save the ship from being taken out. Just holding him off was a challenge, and I like that. Sometimes enemies would take forever to kill, to the point where I'm wondering if I'm doing the mission wrong or something, but nope, some enemies just take a serious beating. It would have probably helped if everyone had a life bar, but you kind of get used to it after a while. In Unicorn mode, you get between 3 to 5 missions for each character, thus you can imagine this is not long. You could beat each character in about 20 to 40 minutes. Custom Cast mode is where you will spend most of your time playing this game. It has 6 scenarios that you have to unlock, with each one having multiple pathways, with S routes being the hardest to unlock. Custom Cast mode puts you in random scenarios that you basically have to survive all the way through. So if you lose any mobile suits or your main ship, they will be gone until you restart from the beginning. This is why it's important picking crew members for your battleship, because in between levels they will help replenish any AP, fuel and ammo you might have lost. Your biggest challenge in Custom Cast mode will be the time limits. They are so brutal, especially at the beginning. Since there's team points in play, meaning you can't just use all the top mobile suits and pilots at once, even if you bought the DLC. You will see a number in the top left corner for every mobile suit, pilot, battleship, weapon and emblem you buy. This adds up to your total team costs. At the start you get something like 76 team points, and the best suits and pilots in the game are the ones that cost the most, so putting them in the team will see you go over the limits and you can't launch. Given that you need at least 3 or more suits to survive to get to the higher routes, you will have to plan more carefully when making your teams. I like this as it gives you a sense of progression as you slowly build your custom fleet up. The more routes you beat, the more team points you get, meaning you can start to add more and better suits and pilots etc. over time. This game also allows for tuning, which is something Armored Core fans will be used to doing. It is very basic tuning but a welcome addition. You can boost your stats in many different areas, making your mobile suits, weapons, pilots etc. much stronger in many various ways, and you will need to do this as the scenarios become increasingly difficult. Tuning costs a lot of UC points which are hard to come by, so you'll end up doing a lot of grinding in this mode. Luckily the game is that fun, grinding is not that bad. By the time you get to scenario 3 you should have made enough points to start making big enough changes. The game is a single player experience only. It offers no co-op or PvP modes. You can't control your CPU teammates with any commands either. The presentation of the game is almost flawless. The menu UI is so good. Everything is just lined up in an easy way to navigate, and it even clearly tells you what is DLC and what is not. The music and sound design in particular is amazing. The beam rifles never sounded so real. The music is from the show, so when that full frontal or unicorn theme music kicks in, you're going to be buzzing with excitement. This game does have a ton of DLC which I'm usually against, but in here I think they did a great job. They even have free DLC. You can buy new suits of course, along with weapons, extra missions, pilots etc, and it's all fairly priced. I pretty much bought all of the DLC, bar a few things, and I enjoyed every bit of them. You will of course need a Japanese PSN account to buy the DLC. If you're not sure what to buy, I recommend the Delta Kai and Shinanju's Den, as these give you an extra mission each and 2 great mobile suits that can help you beat custom cast mode if you're struggling. Clearly this game had a low budget, but Fromsoftware went with the right approach. Rather than waste time on things like level design, they focus solely on the gameplay, and it's exactly that which draws me into the game non-stop. It was hard for me to put down, and reminded me of when I used to play PS3 non-stop. It's like playing a good shoot 'em up, the gameplay just never gets old. Sadly this game only ever came out for the PS3 in Japan, but you can still get around the menu just fine. The gameplay is what is king here. It has become one of my favourite Gundam games by far, and is worth checking out for sure. If you like Gundam or mech space battles, you won't find much better, and the chances of Fromsoftware making another Gundam game are so low, which really makes me appreciate this game even more. As always, thanks for watching and catch you next time.